All right, and we're back with, once again, Politics with Ari. That's me. I'm Ari, your host. I have conversations with Trump supporters and bring you some news in the interim with everything. And I did not start on Twitch. We're doing great. We are doing great. I'm not doing it again for Twitch. If they want to see the VOD, they got to go to the tubes, okay? If they want to see my sad little introduction, they can watch the tubes. Nobody's over there yet anyway, so yeah, boy. We are live. We are live. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, gotta do that. Yeah. And there I am on screen. How about that? This stream did not start late. Oh, I just haven't changed my schedule on Twitch. I'm sorry, guys. I do need to change that. It just takes a bit of effort to actually go in and modify your scheduling on Twitch. It's kind of a pain. Whereas everywhere else, I just change it in my bio, if it's in my bio, which just makes it so much easier, you know? And that's like the easiest thing to fix. Hi, everybody. Hello. I need to get a new notepad or 2 or 3 or 4 or all of them. I need more. Ooh. Yami is on a 45 stream streak. I don't exactly know what that means, but it sounds like you've clicked on 45 of my streams in a row. That's some dedication. Thank you. That's at least 2 months of streaming. We're getting TikTok started now. All right. Bum ba bum 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 ba bum. Yeah. I know some things, Yami, okay? I don't know a lot of, like, I don't know everything when it comes to Twitch, but, you know, I got it. I understand that one, that's for sure. This little sticker will go away sometime soon. Ooh, Cluminati, thank you for renewing your membership. And look, yeah, I just did it. It just did it, Cluminati. Thank you. I appreciate that, guys. Guys, I don't know if we can do it. We did great. Oh, I didn't mean to click on that. We did great yesterday with getting new members. So I don't know. Like, I do like having it as a trend where we get 5 new members every single day. Because, you know, I am smaller. I would love to get 10 like how Polly requests it. But that's another comment I have that I'm not going to share right now. I may type it up in my server. Who knows? We'll figure that out. I was just reading this. Front flips out window, roll landing away, exploding into glitter. That's cute. That's funny. That's so funny. Why would somebody invite me to... No, I'm not doing a battle with somebody. Weird. Yeah, Working Bum, I agree. I was listening to them. Hey, Moose, I'm doing good. I was listening to that individual, and I was like, I can't. Like, not at all. Can't stay in there, that's for sure. All right, Moni Hub. Good job. I'm losing my train of thought as I'm just sitting here. But today's definitely been interesting. I don't know about you guys, or if you've been watching the news or saw anything that came out about the conversation with Reuters that Trump had, and all of the good things, right? Because this is so awesome, guys. Just like such a great thing. Definitely Money Hub. You know what also helps with the engagement? Hey, Sean, is you sending a heart me in. If you sending a daily heart me in helps with engagement too. See if I can finagle that one out. Thank you. Oh, we're getting great. No, it's just a statement of fact. You want like you want to help with engagement, that is the way to do it on TikTok. For as long as TikTok is around for, I don't know. Guys, TikTok confuses me. I don't really know what's happening after the 22nd, which would really be the 23rd. Um that's when the sale is supposed to occur, and I guess just got to figure out how that's going to happen or what's all going to go there. Uh oh, like protesters did working bum, cuz I don't think I agree with that one. Um I would prefer them not to do that. Ooh, thank you, Brandatello. Thank you. I like that. TikTok becomes 4chan. Yeah, something like that. Something will happen like that. Something like that will happen. I need to open up that. We're almost there. We're doing some things. I hope everyone else has had a good Thursday. Thursdays have been great, I hope. Whew, okay. Brett, in the server, we need you to go look in the moderator chat in the server. I tagged you in there. Okay. And tag Parker's when you get in there. They never behave, Moose. Yes, he did say that, Bruce. Thank you for calling in the stream. Are you there? Okay, bye. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes. Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
26.
26. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes, I support Donald Trump.
What year did you graduate high school?
2010.
No, you didn't. It was a nice try, though. This guy literally said 26, graduated high school 16 years ago. Yeah, that's believable. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. How old are you?
24.
24. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
If I could go back and just vote for my state elections, I would do that.
Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
I tolerate his existence, but no, ma'am, not really.
All right. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you. Engage, I haven't had anyone yet that was here for a conversation, so thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hey, this is Jake. How are you doing?
Doing well. How old are you?
I am 28.
28. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
I would like to do something different. I would like to start with the things I dislike about him before we get into what I do enjoy about him. Is that okay?
Not an answer to my question. Are you supporting Donald Trump?
Currently, yes. However, not fully, if that makes sense.
Mm.
So the things I don't like about him, I don't like the Epstein stuff. I think it's weird. It's not like I feel like he could have easily came out and just been honest about it from the get-go, and the fact that he's not is weird. It's weird, right? You and I can both agree that's weird, right? I don't agree with some of the gun laws that he is supporting. I think that educating people is more important than restricting laws, and I am aware that we have a problem in America. Trust me, I am aware. The school shootings are awful. They're horrible. And it's I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on some of those laws that he is putting in place.
What law specifically? Because nothing's been passed by Congress.
That's a great point. It hasn't been. It is. I'm tracking. It's not even in the House, right? Or he has a couple bills in the House, like the constitutional carry, right? So as someone who has my
Which isn't
or
a
not
thing.
constitutional. Say that again, ma'am.
Constitutional carry isn't really a thing.
Tracking. It's not. I am as a concealed carry permit holder myself, right? I just wish I wish he would educate people or push bills for education rather than restriction. I think people who are educated are much more willing and have the ability to think rather than, I mean, okay, we can both agree, right? Do people need bazookas? No, right? So the whole, Second Amendment, gotta believe in holy. I guess that's I don't know. As someone who I'm assuming don't support him, I'm curious on your thoughts on.
I wonder what would give someone that idea that I don't support Trump.
Oh wow. Okay. So let's go. If it's okay with you, what things do you dislike about him and his? And I would like to say this. It's not just Donald Trump. It's Donald Trump and his entire organization, right? It's so easy to blame one individual than so many others underneath his administration, if that makes sense. So what are some things you disagree with in his administration and him?
I don't support a president that actively goes against articles and amendments of the United States Constitution or talks about invading our allies.
Okay. What? Oh, yeah, the allies of. Are you talking more specifically on the Greenland, or are you talking about Iran currently? Because that one's a hot topic.
Iran's not our ally.
Okay.
I would never say Iran is our ally.
So that's something you do support. You do support
No.
his administration. Okay. Why do you not support his administration when they are? And again, I am not there personally. From what they have said, and the reports we're getting are he's murder. The Iran administration is murdering a bunch, not just one or two, thousands of innocent people protesting. So you don't
the United
support
States of America is arresting our peaceful protesters. So, and in fact, they've killed one, so who wasn't even protesting. It just seems more like rules for thee, but not for me.
Okay, I can see that point, right? That is very, okay, in the instance of Iran, I see how, obviously, that's an atrocity. No one agrees with that, right? No one wants innocent lives taken. And I also see our side of the house where we are arresting innocent individuals. And I say that because they're innocent until proven guilty, right? In this country, they are innocent until proven guilty. So I see that. You're right. But it's such a frustration because it's so slow, right? And we're waiting for people to get punished. Like recently, Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton refused to show up to their subpoena, and they're now in contempt of court.
It's not contempt of court. That's not what that is. Congress can't hold people in contempt of court.
I didn't know that. Interesting. Okay. So then why are they saying that they are holding him in contempt of court?
Because it's not called contempt of court.
Okay. So this
it would be a failure to appear in Congress, right? And to be very clear, let me be very clear with everybody here. Fuck the Clintons. They've got their own shit, and like fuck them all the way. If they're found guilty of a crime, bury them under the goddamn prison. I don't care, right? However, I actually read their statement in the letter that they sent into Comer to explain why they didn't go into Congress, and here's why. Right? So Comer had subpoenaed 7 or 8 other individuals, right? And in response to their subpoenas to appear, like because he had them on the schedule to appear and testify in front of Congress, they sent in affidavits just saying, "Hey, was our experience with Epstein and blah 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 blah," and Comer accepted those affidavits and then dismissed their date to appear in front of Congress. Canceled it is really what it is. They released them from being required to speak in front of Congress. Well, the Clintons did the exact same thing multiple times. And guess what Comer did not do? Didn't dismiss their appearance date in Congress. So again, it's rules for thee, but not for me. They're holding them to a different standard. And I think that is an issue. And so in that case, no, I don't blame them for not showing up. It would have been great if they did and spoke on the record. Because again, like they're pieces of shit. If they did something wrong, then fucking bury them under the goddamn prison.
Yeah.
But the point that they made is valid.
Okay. So we can both agree that the Clintons, fuck them, but at the same time, that's their right. They submitted that. Interesting. I didn't hear about them submitting that paperwork. That's awesome.
They will literally challenge this in actual court. And also the issue is like they also made a point to state that there is no, like them appearing to speak in front of Congress gives nothing additional to the legislative process that Congress undergoes. And that also is a good point to make. It doesn't help them come up with any new laws. It doesn't help them write new laws or anything like that. They have no oversight on individuals who are not in any position of office, right? No position of authority. It makes sense that they would also refuse a subpoena.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And if we were in those shoes, right, I would be like, man, what the fuck are they doing? I submitted the paperwork, the proper paperwork, did the right. Now, the only thing that still makes me hesitant about that is what time did they submit that paperwork? Because you know how it is, right? Oh, we need to submit this paperwork. Oh, we submitted the paperwork. Yeah, you submitted it 2 hours before. You know what I'm saying? And but I don't know how we could find when they submitted the paperwork, because that's a sleazy thing they could do. But again, that's their right to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're actually guilty of something. Again, convict them in court.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. But again, it just takes forever, because now, okay, they didn't show some. Yeah. So and I'd like to kind of change a little topic. What are some things that you appreciate that Trump has done? We've talked about what we don't like about him, right? And again, he's a dude. He's human, right? I don't have to like everything he's done. But what is one thing, if you wouldn't mind telling me, that you do like that Trump has done?
I think that no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, tax deduction on your car interest that you've paid, tax deduction for seniors, those are great starts.
Okay. How do you feel about him capping the 10% for the credit cards?
He can't do that without an act of Congress, sir. Also, that's going to be very hard to be upheld in court, considering the credit card companies sued the last administration for trying to put a cap on late fees. You think they're not going to sue about credit card interest?
Who are you talking about suing for credit card interest? The government or the businesses?
The credit card companies. They sued the last administration for trying to put a cap on late fees being assessed.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. this also will not hold up in court. They'll use the same reasoning that the court system used to overturn a cap on late fees. The idea is great, but it's not going to go anywhere without an act of Congress.
Okay. And then Congress has to take forever to get a bill and then approve the bill and then send it through all the proper channels, and it takes forever. And then, yeah. Interesting.
Because an executive order can't tell private companies what to do.
It can, okay, so an executive order can't tell them what to do. It can pressure them into, but it can't tell them.
Can't
I see what
require
you're
them
saying.
to do
Okay.
anything, yeah.
Yep, can't require them to do anything, and that's this country that we're in. Interesting. Well, I know you've got other callers. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I greatly appreciate your time.
Sure, not a problem, man. You have a great rest of your Thursday. And I remind myself what day of the week it is.
All right, later.
All right, bye. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Of course I am.
Awesome. How old are you?
Like 6, 7.
Okay. I don't feel like doing that now. I vote for either of these songs as an intro. Bulls on Parade, Rage Against the Machine, For What It's Worth, Buffalo Springfield. One problem, Sean. I can't use copyrighted music. They don't like that. Yeah. Yes, executive orders can be stopped by judges. They can also be stopped by other presidents once they're elected in. Just in laws can also be stopped by judges. So, thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yo, what's up, Ari?
Doing well. How are you?
Oh, pretty good.
Awesome. How
I'm
old
on
are you?
vacation. We went to a plantation today. It was pretty sick. I'm in South Carolina. But what's up with you?
How old are you?
I'm 29.
29. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes, I am.
What specifically has Donald Trump done in his 12 months back in office that has earned your continued support?
He's getting these illegals out of here because they really shouldn't be here, you know? What do you think, Ari?
I think that you guys worry way too much about immigration for the wrong
I'm worried about pussy,
reasons.
too. I've been trying to get him to, like, do prostitution again because, like, these dates are getting expensive with these girls. You know, they want you to take them all these.
What a dum-dum. Let's cross that one back out. You know what? Just for you, if we did make that legal, I will say this. Incels wouldn't exist. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Well, this is Dirk. I'm here. This is
Dirk.
fantastic.
You're annoying.
Go ahead.
I already did. I said you're annoying. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Cool. How old are you?
I'm about 28.
About?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
I have to be reminded of my age every now and then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But just wondering, I'm really trying to blow that back out if you're trying to meet up or
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with men? Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
I'm here.
Awesome. How old are you?
32.
Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Of course.
Awesome. And what specifically has Donald Trump done in his 12 months back in office that has earned your continued support?
Well, for starters, the petrol dollar strong, so I support that he invaded Venezuela. Guess he didn't really invade the country. He got a dictator out of that country. That's a plus.
Gotcha.
Is that on a plus? Was he not killing his people?
Sir, Maduro it was a piece of shit. Like that's 100% true. But I thought the United States stopped doing regime changes.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's going to be something that we have to do to keep the world peaceful.
Oh, now we're encouraging regime changes. Okay. Have to do to keep world peaceful. Okay.
You have to. Who else is going to do it if it's not the United States? Is
Uh,
Russia going to do it? Will China do it?
I mean, they already are, so that's a funny statement.
Who do you think is going to keep world peace around the world and keep Russia and China in check?
Wait, I thought
If
that
it's
was
not
the
us.
whole reason why people voted in Donald Trump was like for no new wars and to get us out of these forever conflicts, these proxy wars. But yet someone is actually up here on the live encouraging proxy wars.
I'm good with it. There's no war
You're
going on
good
right
with
now,
it. Oh, interesting.
and a lot of other Trump supporters are good with it too.
I
And
said
you should be
proxy
too.
war. Do you know what a proxy war is?
I do. But
Oh, you
let's
do.
talk
What
about
ex-
let's talk about your
Mhm.
party. I want to talk about
What
your
party
party.
is
All
that?
right. You're telling me you're not a Democrat? You're not a
No,
liberal?
no.
So where do you stand?
Moderate.
Moderate? Okay, so what makes you not support Donald Trump?
Thank you,
Let me ask you
Andy.
this.
That's so cool. Sorry, it was like a steampunk
No, you're
donut
good.
that just came up on my screen. That was really cool.
By the way, I do appreciate what you're doing as a Trump supporter. There needs to be like peaceful dialogue like this. So I do support what you're doing 1000%.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. But okay, if you're not a Republican and you're not a Democrat, you stand nowhere. So are you in the middle? Are there things you like that Trump
Yeah,
does?
I've literally
You know,
voted
tax
for
on
almost
tips?
every party that somebody can think of.
Really? Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
See, because
Okay.
here's what I do. I look at policy over party.
I hear that.
Yeah, I'm not a part of the blue no matter who or red no matter what crowd. I think that's quite silly of a thought process.
Yeah. No, me too. I make my decision just based off of, fundamental foundations as far as like, Christian beliefs. And I would have never voted for Joe Biden, obviously, or Kamala. Those two parties are okay with sodomizing children. 6, 7, 8-year-olds. They're literally okay with children having sex change operations.
Please tell me what campaign ad the Harris administration put out supporting sex changes for children.
So you're telling me that Kamala and
What
Biden
campaign
never
ad?
mentioned?
What campaign ad did Kamala
You can
Harris?
look it up. You can look at.
How much
there's multiple
money?
videos.
Here, we'll try
There's
this one.
multiple
Maybe
videos.
you'll know this one. How much money did the Harris campaign spend on transgender ads?
I don't know how much money they spend,
Oh,
but I know for
awesome. I
sure
can
that
tell
they
you. It's
supported
actually,
it.
I don't know
Are
if
you
you
telling me
realize
they
this,
didn't
you can
support it?
find all of this information easily available on the FEC, and it was $0. Now tell me how much the Republican Party spent on anti-trans ad in 2024 alone.
As they should. As they should.
$215 million. Do you see how much of a sheep you are?
Hey,
You bought
as
into
they
a
should. Why would you-
$215 million lie. You
anything
silly
to
little
protect-
goose.
Anything to
You're not protecting children. You're demonizing children. You are demonizing women. You are rolling women back in their protections that women have fought for. Don't fucking try to act like you doing something. You ain't doing shit. Thank you for calling the stream. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Thanks for calling the stream.
Hello,
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 16.
Have a good night, my guy. Sometimes, Larry. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Okay. Just take care of that. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. How old are you?
I am 23 years old.
Didn't I hang up on you like 6 times yesterday?
Check my number. This is the first time I'm calling you.
Okay. Do you still support Donald Trump?
Of course I do. Why would I not?
Yeah. Cool. What specifically has Donald Trump done in his 12 months in office that has earned your continued support?
Personally, I'm in finance, so to cut it short, the financial situation at my job's been increasing in profit every single time Trump has been in office, so that's the short answer.
Oh, okay. So what specifically did he do to assist with that in this term?
In this term, banning non-domicile CDL drivers, enforcing laws that should have been
Oh, how did
enforced a while ago.
how did that help out your finance company?
Because it bumped up the insurance costs. The higher the insurance premiums, the more money we can make.
Okay, got it. You're an insurance broker and you like fucking people over by your own admission. It
Exactly.
increased the insurance cost, guys. Bro, go fuck yourself already. God damn. The actual fuck. Guys, if you are new here, please hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. It is free to do both of those things on TikTok. Guys, let's go ahead and keep double tapping that screen. And guys, we do have super chats, bits, membership, subscriptions, gifts, and super fans all available. Please consider helping us out that way. We also have direct donations available through your Cash App and Venmo. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes. Hi. Hola. ¿Cómo estás? How are you?
I'm well. How old are you?
Because I'm a Venezuelan that supports Trump.
How old are you?
Oh, me? I am 44. I just sound very young, pero no, yo tengo 44 años. If you think I'm young, oh, thank you, but that's a compliment. I wish. If you can tell my background, that there's a sciatica on my back, that I'm 18 or 16 years old, but no, I'm 44. Anyways, I supported Trump in the last 12 months. Maybe not everything he did, and I was against a lot of things, but the last thing he did 2 weeks ago when he arrested Maduro the way he did, I supported that because he ruined my country. Maduro and Chavez did. And no, not the sanctions, Maduro and Chavez policies and the way they treated the opposition and jailed a lot of political prisoners. That's the reason why I support Trump. He actually took action, unlike other presidents. George Bush didn't do anything for Chavez. Clinton, Obama didn't do much, and Biden didn't do much. Sanctions did not do much. He really took action and took the worst dictator in a long time away from Venezuela, and hopefully we'll have liberty soon. Gracias a Dios que Trump hizo eso.
Who's currently in charge of Venezuela?
Another dictator, yes. And
awesome. So we didn't get that far. And what did Donald Trump say about Machado?
He said that
Maria Machado.
Yeah, the government and the military do not support her. And he's right about that.
He also said that she's weak.
The communists.
He also said that she's weak.
The communist government right now.
Yeah.
And the legislature.
You don't know what communism is.
I am from Venezuela. What are you talking about?
It's not communist. You've already contradicted yourself when you say communist government, because true communism requires no governing body. And because you've already acknowledged that there is a government, it is not communism, sir.
No. Okay, I agree, but they're striving to.
Then perhaps don't say it. Oh, then what steps are they doing to dismantle their government?
Well, the first step is taking state ownership of all the private properties that was owned by private citizens.
That would also be incorrect as well. That's not.
They do that.
That's not
that they didn't do that.
dismantling the state, sir. That's not dismantling the government.
So what is dismantling? ¿Me puede explicar que ellos no quieren estar en un estado comunista? ¿Me puede explicar eso? Can you explain that to me?
Yeah. So dismantling the government would be, for example, maybe starting with dismantling the military itself, doing away with the Supreme Court that they have within Venezuela. Also, probably getting rid of their entire administration all the way up to the vice president. And then finally, when they want to achieve true communism, the actual president would just step down and declare it basically that, hey guys, we all own this property communally.
And do you think that's
They
something that
didn't do
happens
that.
overnight? Do you think that's
Oh,
something that
sir,
happens
how
overnight?
long? Please remind me. How long has Maduro been in power?
Around 16 years.
Yeah,
And
that could have happened a long time ago. But instead, as
and
you've
it's
already
not that
admitted,
easy.
he's not doing that.
It's not that
Yeah,
easy.
because it's not communism, it's a dictatorship. It's an authoritarian dictatorship. Congratulations. Thank you for understanding the point that I was making. It
¿Y de qué
is not
partido?
communism.
No,
It's just
the
a
road to
boogeyman.
it's the road to
Communism is a
serfdom.
boogeyman that everybody
It's the
was
road
fed,
to-
especially
road to
about
serfdom.
other countries. Like, it's the boogeyman that American
No, it's not the
citizens were
boogeyman,
fed. We were
because-
fed this boogeyman that communism is this big bag of ugly, even
It's
though
not
people don't
communism.
understand it. It takes literally surface level Google research, actually clicking on things, reading up on scholars. Look at Karl Marx, for example, where he also talks about communism. He created Marxism. Look at
You're talking
Leninism.
about Das
Like, look at
Kapital? Have
socialism,
you
sir.
read-
You don't know
have you
anything
read-
about it.
Have you
Let's see. I did miss something. Trump saves soldiers' lives by taking out the leaders. Trump has the balls to stand up to these bullies. We need strength and power to ensure a future for our kids. All right. Well, enjoy saying that from Australia. Australian MAGA is so weird. Honest to goodness. Thank you, Feisty, so much for the gifted memberships as well. If you received a gifted membership from Feisty, be sure to thank her. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes.
You're a kid. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
Goo Goo Gaga.
Oh, okay. And yeah, also, the guy wasn't Venezuelan. His syntax when it came to his Spanish was Mexican. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Hi, how are you? Hello. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hey, yo, it's Darnell from O Block. What's up? How you doing today?
Your service is trash. Ooh, I'm not doing that with that echo. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
Hi, I'm 21.
21. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes, I am.
You are. Awesome. Date of birth, go.
10:05:04.
Cool. And what specifically has Donald Trump done in his 12 months in office that has earned your continued support?
Well, I'd like to talk about, since it's so controversial, what happened in Venezuela.
Awesome. And you're saying
Because
you
were
support
just
that?
talking to. Yes, I do.
Why do you support the American government violating international laws?
Well, I think it's very complicated what's happening in Venezuela. But really, I think that it's important because the United States we have to be honest here, we're second to none. We are a force, and we have to protect like the Monroe Doctrine. We have to protect our side of the hemisphere.
When's the first time you heard of the Monroe Doctrine?
Excuse me?
When's the first time you've heard of the Monroe Doctrine?
8th grade.
Anyway, so can you explain to me again why you support the United States of America violating international law? You haven't addressed that yet.
Well, I'd like to ask what you mean exactly when you say violating international law.
Oh, well, sorry,
want to
ma'am.
hear- well,
It's
I'm not trying to be,
internationally
like, rude to
illegal
you.
to go in and kidnap the president or the head of state from another country, step foot on their soil in the way that we did, kill about 80 civilians within them in order to enact this operation. It's also illegal to mask our military. It's actually illegal to the United States' own code of conduct when it comes to our military operations to mask our jets and our planes to make them look like they're civilian planes and not military representing the United States of America during their operations. All of these things occurred.
Right. Okay.
And that's not
So
just
my
illegal to the
follow-up-
United States, but also internationally illegal.
So my follow-up to you is going to be, what are they going to do?
I'm sorry, that's still
United
not an
States-
answer to my question.
We can do, the United States is second to none. We are a powerhouse. Ever since this country, people like to believe that when
Okay.
this country
So the
began,
United
we were
States of
some-
America, and specifically Donald Trump, the president of the United States, we're just above the law.
What are they going to do?
So we're just
We
above
need
the
to
law.
protect our own. Truly, we need to protect our.
Are we
Here,
above the
let me
law?
ask you, what
Are we above the law?
my thing is,
Are we above the law?
who are the cops?
Are we above the law?
Yes. Who are the cops?
We are above the law,
Who is
guys.
going
We
to
can just
punish-
do whatever we want. We can just, just go in and kill people. So I wonder, like, if we're above the law and we already acknowledge that it is actually internationally illegal to go ahead and abscond president of another country, right? Regardless of the fact
I
that
ask
we
you
had
something?
indictments. No, I'm currently talking. We had indictments out for Maduro. We had a bounty out on Maduro. But, we're so above the law. I just want to be clear that we ignore warrants that are out for other world leaders when they come to the United States of America, like Vladimir Putin, Benjamin Netanyahu. They both came to the United States of
listen,
America,
please.
stepped on United States soil. We ignored the fact that they had warrants out for their arrest to be tried in the ICJ. They had warrants out for their arrest with the ICC, both of which have actually
don't follow the
violated the
ICC.
Geneva
The
Convention
United
and are
States does not
actually.
follow the
Do we
ICC.
follow the Geneva Convention? Because
Can I ask
this
you
is
something?
actually
Do
what
we
I was
follow the
talking
Rome
about.
Statute
The
of
Geneva
2002?
Convention,
Does
we
the
know that
United States follow the
Sorry,
ICC
Vladimir Putin
or
and
the Rome
Bibi
Statute of
Netanyahu,
2000?
Vladimir Putin and Bibi Netanyahu both actually have committed acts of genocide. So why are we so concerned
like
about
Bibi
somebody that has
Netanyahu.
not committed an act of genocide? But we're actually, and by the way, just to be very clear, Donald Trump didn't do this to liberate the Venezuelans. He specifically did it for oil, and he said that himself multiple times.
Well, I never said anything about liberating the
Oh, I know you
Venezuelans.
didn't. I'm making a statement.
I don't care about the Venezuelans.
We can
care
tell.
About the United
It's
States,
okay.
and
We can
are
tell.
protecting. We are about 60 miles away. There's about a 60-mile passageway down there. China is in cahoots currently, or past, with Venezuela for Venezuelan oil. If
Uh-huh.
you want to talk about Venezuelan oil, I don't care about Venezuelans and how they've been affected by this. I care about the United
And
States.
also, you're just
our best
really
interest.
bad
You know,
at fucking
China.
doing math. Guys, Venezuela's only like
just
60
love hearing
miles from
yourself
the
talk.
United States of
You
America.
just love
Ma'am,
hearing yourself
they're
talk.
about, I don't know if you realize this, but Venezuela is over 2,000 miles from Florida, from
I'm talking about this
Texas,
now. Texas.
from both.
Listen.
They're over, if you
let
draw
me
a
ask you
straight line, ma'am, if you drew a straight line, it's
does the
over
United States follow the
2,000
ICC?
miles It's over
Does the United
2,000
States follow
miles,
the
to be very
ICC
clear.
and follow the Rome Statute of 2002?
You're
If you
just
want to talk about
lame.
international law, does the United States follow the ICC and the Rome Statute of 2002?
Oh, I'm aware
And
that we
listen,
don't recognize the ICC authority, which I believe is absolute shit. Because the reason why we don't do it is because just to be very clear, is because otherwise Obama would have been put up on war crimes. Bush would have been put up on war crimes. The United States of America did this to protect the United States president.
what's
And
your
I think
source
that's
on that?
absolutely fucking bullshit because we should be held
What's
to
your
the same
source on that?
standard as every other
What's your
leader in
source on
every
that?
other country is. We should not
What's
be
your source on that?
violating or what's my source on what? You are denying
On
that George Bush and President Obama committed war crimes as president of the United
no, I'm
States?
not. President
Oh,
Obama
okay.
blew up a church. No,
Yeah,
I'm
so did
definitely
Donald
not.
Trump.
I'm definitely not.
Congratulations. But I'm telling you that the
Listen,
reason why we don't recognize the ICC or the ICJ is because we're protecting the President of the United States of America because we know for a fact that
as
every president has
we
basically
should,
fucking committed
as
goddamn war
we
crimes.
should.
The United
The
States of
United
America is
States
not
is
above the
second
fucking
to
law.
none. Here's what you're
We are
talking
not
about,
second to
international
none.
law. Who
Hi,
is
Pookie. I understand that you just you've heard these catchphrases, so you just want to keep holding them up. Oh, that's interesting. If we're the prosecutors, let's try this again. If we're the prosecutors, why on earth is Vladimir Putin or Benjamin Netanyahu not on trial in the United States of America for committing acts of genocide?
Oh, I think that the United States government is controlled by the state of Israel, truly.
Cool, that
I'm
doesn't answer my
completely
question. That doesn't
anti-Netanyahu.
answer my question. Well, if we are the prosecutor, like the prosecutorial service of the entire world, why on earth are Vladimir Putin and Benjamin Netanyahu not on trial within the United States of America for genocide?
Because they have nuclear weapons.
Oh, sorry. If they willingly come to the United States of America and we keep them,
We will
that we're just
destroy
going
them.
to
We
get
will
destroyed.
strike them
Oh
down
yeah, sure.
with the power
Okay,
of
so
the
I
United
guess power is only measured by their access to nuclear weapons, right? That's what it is for you. Because if that's the
Power?
case,
No,
then
no,
we
no,
are
no, no.
definitely
Here,
not
let me
second to
clarify what I
none.
meant.
No.
Let me clarify.
You are a child. If you are truly only 21, which by the way, your voice makes you sound like you're in your 40s. You do not sound like you're 21. Like, not at all. You sound older. You sound older. And I'm going to tell you this, you and your silly little catchphrases are annoying as fuck. The United States of America is second to none. Second to none. Second to none, guys. We are second to none. And just to be very clear, she also is continuing to say that the United States is above the law. We can just do whatever the fuck we want, according to her. Which, again, I think that makes you a horrible human being. You've never let a woman finish in your goddamn life. You sound like you're fucking, sorry guys. She put her husband on the phone, or I assume, her brother husband is now on the phone. And you literally sound like, I am so glad that you guys can't hear him, because you literally sound like you don't know what a nail file looks like to clean out from under your goddamn fingernails, and they're probably brown. You also sound like you have a brown streak in your goddamn boxers. That's how you sound, brother husband. Holy, for fuck's sakes. That was not a voice that I was expecting to come on here. You definitely think it's gay. This is a man that definitely thinks it's G-A-Y to wash between his ass cheeks. He definitely doesn't know where the clitoris is. He doesn't know where the glabella is on a woman. He definitely would not know where a woman's uvula was on her body. He probably doesn't even know what dermatitis is. Man doesn't even know how to shave properly. I guarantee that if we looked under his arms, his armpit hair would be like this fucking long. He sounds like that. You sound unwashed and unkempt. It is so interesting. The way that you sound. Oh, you still are going, aren't you?
politics, baby girl.
Yeah.
What do you want to
Yeah,
talk
like
about?
here, you guys,
You're
you
making my
wanted to
wife
listen to him.
upset.
This is exactly what he sounds like.
You're making my wife
Tell me that's
upset,
not what he
baby
sounds
girl. Let's
like.
talk
Tell
politics.
me for fucking real. This is not what he sounds like. He sounds like he hasn't washed his hands in
My
a
wife is
fucking year.
crying.
He
My
sounds
wife
like
is
he's got
fucking
dirt
crying
stuck
'cause the
way
way you
up under
treat
his
her.
cuticles
I'm talking
that will
politics
never
with
come
you.
out. And I'm sorry, sir.
I'm
You
talking
you
politics
called me
with you.
baby girl. Do not call me baby girl with a 10-foot fucking pole,
dick in
because you would
college
not
once.
be
It was a
allowed to
black
come
man's
near
dick.
me. I would
It
put a
was long
restraining
and
order on you just from looking at your nasty ass. Maybe you need to go back to your sister wife, and maybe
My
then you'll
wife
get
is
some, because you
crying
ain't
'cause I
getting
told
nothing
her I
from this.
sucked a
I
black
am
man's
way
dick.
above you. You ain't worth my goddamn time. Learn how to wash between your fucking ass cheeks. You
Why you keep
definitely
putting
sound
on
like
accents?
you ain't know how to do any of this shit.
Why?
Oh my, for fuck's
My
sake.
name is
That
Ricky
voice was not
Bobby.
something I was
Come to
expecting.
1217 Oklahoma Drive,
You and your
Houston,
sister wife,
Texas,
you two
motherfucker.
deserve each other. You and your brother husband, you two deserve each other. I can't wait
Let's
to see
talk
what that comes
politics.
out of there. Ooh, actually, no, I don't. I think that would be an abomination. Oh my goodness.
Let's talk.
Holy for fuck's sake. Was he really? That's hilarious. Yeah, listen. You can't tell me that's not what the fuck that sounded like. To be fair, they sounded exactly like what you expected. None of y'all can tell me that was not the description. Like, that description fit. That description fit like a mother. Holy for fuck's sake. If there was anyone that fit that goddamn description, that was it. Holy shit. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
I am
Awesome. How old are you?
28.
28. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yeah.
That's a hilarious comment. I'm so sorry. Okay. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
I am.
Awesome. What specifically has Donald Trump done in his 12 months back in office that has earned your continued support?
Tax cuts, closing the border up.
So the border is closed. Hello? I know you're
More closed
there.
than it was.
Oh, more closed than it was. Okay. So, guys, I'm going to be very clear. We'll just do this. The tax cuts for the lower to middle class, absolutely needed, absolutely necessary. I absolutely support the tax cuts for the lower to middle class being made permanent. That's a really great thing. Congratulations. It's exactly what other people were going to do. Woo, oh my goodness. Anyways, so how specifically did Donald Trump close the border up further, I guess?
Reinforced law enforcement.
Reinforced law enforcement. How?
Yep.
And what does that look like?
Put more agents on the border, tighten security up.
Oh, okay. Just put more agents there, tightened up security. How did he tighten up security?
I think I explained it well enough.
That's all
Gas
you got?
price is the lowest. Gas price is lowest it's been since 2021.
Oh, yay. Woo. And what specific policy did Donald Trump pass in order to lower gas prices?
Not necessarily a policy that he changed.
So he didn't do anything to lower gas prices?
Absolutely.
So
Cut
what did he
restrictions.
do to lower gas prices? What specifically did Donald Trump do to lower the cost of gas?
He cut restrictions, which makes
Cut restrictions how? All right. Guys, I'm going to tell you this, all right? I'm going to let y'all know this, okay? Donald Trump didn't do anything to lower the cost of gas. You want to know why we know he didn't do anything to lower the cost of gas? Because the people that set the gas prices, yeah, he ran, are the oil companies. Oh, what a concept. What a concept. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Hello. Okay. Guys, if you're new here and you haven't hit that follow button or that subscribe button, please go ahead and hit that button now. It is free to do that. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
What a concept.
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
What a concept.
Actually, 32.
Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Can you turn down the stream in the background?
Sorry.
No worries.
That's actually you.
Yeah, that was me. Anyway.
Yeah.
And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Supported. Oh, man, I wish he was out.
So you don't support Trump?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, thanks, man. I hope you have a good one. All right, let's see. Bella, I am just looking for Trump supporters to call in. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Thanks.
Yeah, hello. How's it going?
Going well. How old are you?
I am 23.
23. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Fuck to the no.
All right. Well, WU, and I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
I am 18.
18. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes and no. I do support some of his policies. I don't support some of his policies.
Okay. So what specifically has Donald Trump done in his 12 months in office that has earned your continued support?
So, well, a lot of the things that I've seen, especially like international wise, like with my country, I'm not originally from here. I've immigrated here legally. And I've seen that, especially in my country and around Eastern Europe in general, that we've seen a lot of improvements thanks to him.
What policy did Donald Trump that's not the right word. What policy did
Instigate?
Donald Trump, no, instigate's not the right one that I was
Not
looking
the
for.
right word.
Initiate would be correct. What policy did Donald Trump initiate within the United States of America that changed policies internationally?
That changed policies internationally? Well, policies inside of America, first of all, I've seen like a lot of stuff that he's seen done with our prime minister and my religion. During the Greek Independence Day of 1821, March 25th, he did, in fact, skip meetings to go and be with Greek Americans. He also has met with our prime minister and our archbishop multiple times throughout his presidency. That's mainly why I like him.
Got it.
I'm just telling you why I like him.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's just your
I'm
feelings, I
telling you,
don't
I
really
like the
care.
guy, I
There's
don't
a
like the
reason.
policies.
Oh, so you don't like his policies, you like the person himself.
I like Mr. Trump. I like what he's that he's giving attention to our people, but I don't really like a lot of the stuff he's done. We have a small business, and it has significantly gotten worse because of the big beautiful bill.
Yep, that's a true statement, I'm sure.
We've,
Do you support the Golden Dawn?
The Golden Dawn, no, ma'am. I do not support the Golden Dawn.
Sorry, was
I
somebody
do
asked
not.
me to ask you that.
support
So
the Greek solution.
All right, man. Well, if you just like him because he talks to Greek descendants, that's cool. I also support Zeus.
Zeus, no, ma'am. We do not support Zeus. We support the Lord, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Is what we believe in. We are Greek Orthodox. We do not believe in the gods of all of us.
Okay. I just wanted to say Zeus. That's
All right. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Cool. I just wanted to say Zeus, guys. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes,
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 42.
42. Can you turn down the stream in the background?
Sure, I'm in a truck. Is that better?
That's a good one, Jim. I didn't think of Thor. Yeah, sounds better. Cool. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes, definitely.
What specifically has Donald Trump done in his 12 months back in office that has earned your continued support?
This term?
12 months back in office. Yep.
I paid $1.97 for fuel yesterday.
Fantastic.
Gas
And
is
tell me
obviously
exactly what policy Donald Trump instituted that lowered your cost of gas.
He's lowered my taxes.
No. I asked you a direct question here. What policy did Donald Trump institute that lowered your cost of gas?
8 wars. He's freed a country from a dictator.
Are you just here to yap and just telling me all the things?
I'm telling you
Okay,
all the
then
great things about Donald Trump.
answer my
put an end
question.
to the psychotic
Answer my
left
question. Oh my goodness. What is up with people? Are you capable of answering my question?
Are you capable of listening? You asked me what
I asked you a question, and then you said you're paying. I'm paying $1.97 for gas, and then I asked you a direct question. In your pause, you literally stopped talking for a moment. So when you stopped talking, I asked you what specific policy did Donald Trump institute that lowered your cost of gas?
Okay, fine,
What specific policy?
You remember how Trump says drill, baby, drill?
That's a slogan.
Deregulation? So you're just saying gas magically goes up when Democrats are in office and then magically comes down when Trump's in office? You think that's
Supply
not
and demand, silly goose. Would you like me to explain it to you? Okay. Well, if you just, I'll explain this to you. That's not a problem. So when Joe Biden was president of the United States of America, after Donald Trump was president of the United States of America, see, people forget that there was this very specific thing that Donald Trump did in April of 2020. He signed a deal called the OPEC Plus deal. And what OPEC Plus deal did was it made the OPEC companies, right? They agreed to lower the amount of petroleum that they were producing and then selling on the world market. And they reduced it by 2 million barrels a day is basically what they did. They lowered the fuck out of their production, right? And this was a deal that was signed for 2 years. Even though Donald Trump told everybody that the pandemic was only going to last 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks, 2-year deal. And the reason why he went to OPEC and said, hey, let's sign this deal. We need to do all of this, right? Like, we need you to stop producing as much oil, is because the American oil industry was suffering because people were staying at home. People weren't going out and filling up their vehicles. They weren't buying gas like that, right? And so he went to them. They lowered the amount of their production, and we saw lower gas prices, the lowest that we had seen since previously under Obama. Like, they didn't beat Obama's prices, by the way. Did not beat Obama's prices, by the way. We saw the lowest gas prices in the month of April of 2020 that we have not seen since. I believe the average, according to the EIA.gov, was $1.81 across the United States of America. Average was like $1.81. Fantastic. We saw that for 1 month. And after April of 2020, we slowly started to see the cost of gas, that average increase. And see, this was something that actually occurred internationally, right? Something that occurred internationally. And then Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump left office. Joe Biden was inaugurated into office. And what Joe Biden tried to do was as everybody was going back to work, everybody was doing their things, right? He went to OPEC Plus and said, hey, I understood that you signed this deal under the last administration, but it's really hurting American consumers. Can we get you to go back to your normal levels of producing oil, right? Instead, he hung up. As I've been talking to you guys, he hung up. Instead, they kept it the same because they were making so much goddamn money that they kept it the same. And again, the price of gas increasing was an international thing. This wasn't limited to the United States of America. And I think that's something that people forget, right? Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 19. Henry from Pennsylvania. I'm a very strong MAGA Republican.
Okay. What specifically has Donald Trump done in his 12 months back in office that has earned your continued support?
Continued support, okay, and it's a very strong support, has come from a lot of different things that Trump has done in the last 12 months in office, as your question posed. Number one is his very strong immigration crackdowns. And while I do believe specifically the execution can be improved in some areas, I think when you have a large number of people in your country who are there from breaking a law by itself to enter the country illegally, not as an asylum seeker, then you do have a serious issue with your country. That's the first thing. Number two, I would also like to add that I believe Trump's military decisions in Venezuela and his very, very strong posturing, because that's what I believe it is, because Trump, despite being seen as the do what he says Republican and thinks what he says Republican, is not always like that. He's able to posture himself in certain ways. And I think with both Venezuela and Greenland, he's going to create a far stronger America, not only through natural resources, but through quite literal physical positioning of the American republic, you could say in a way. And thirdly, this was also in his 12 months. I believe Trump has been very, very strong as a president overall. And essentially, okay, a very strong president. And what I mean by that essentially is that despite his lower approval ratings, he's willing to, and he has said this time and time again, that he is willing to do what is unpopular to help America in the long term. I think part of being a strong president is being a very long-term thinker, and I think Trump has that nailed down well. I don't think he's the best person. I don't think what he did with Stormy Daniels, for example, was okay. I don't think the way he treated his ex-wives was okay. I don't think the way he treated people like Rosie O'Donnell was okay. He's not the best person, but I think a strong leader is not always the best person. That's about all I have to say for right now. Thank you. We can continue, of course.
So I'm curious, how many unauthorized immigrants do you think are within the United States of America?
I believe the last time I looked at statistics, it ranged from 11 to 14 million.
That would be accurate. How many do you think entered in under the Biden administration?
Under the Biden administration, I wasn't so involved in politics. I was a little bit younger, so I didn't really have the right to vote until I believe his final year. But I think actually a smaller, I don't know an exact number. I apologize for not being able to give you that.
No, that's
but
okay.
I believe a
Nobody
smaller
has an exact
amount.
number.
I believe a smaller amount than what most people say. I think border security was strong under Biden, but not quite as strong as Trump, because Trump has combined both a border security solution and an internal security solution.
Well, I'm glad to know that you're not buying into the 30 million illegal immigrants hype, right? That's a good thing. You mentioned that you're supporting mass immigration. You also brought up breaking the law. How do you prove that somebody broke the law in the United States?
You prove that somebody broke the law through an investigation or through a court trial. It can be done either one of two ways. And it doesn't have to simply be a court trial. If during that process of investigation, you do not follow the proper procedures of law to assert yourself specifically as a citizen, because entering the law illegally without attaining asylum is by itself a breaking of law. It's a felony misdemeanor the first time you do it, and I believe after a couple of times it is a felony in of itself. So while they may not be going to trial for it, there are procedures to determine whether they are an illegal alien, first of all, and secondly, they give them a chance of somewhat due diligence within the law, not specifically a trial, to figure out whether or not they are there illegally.
Not under this administration, they're not.
What's your source on that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Have you read the court brief from Kristi Noem v. Kilmer-Abrego Garcia, the SCOTUS decision that was released in May of 2025?
Can you brief me on that decision real quickly?
Yeah, so within that hearing, right, the Solicitor General representing the United States of America, specifically Kristi Noem, right, actually made a statement that they believe that they didn't have to give enough time for immigrants to submit a writ of habeas corpus, which would be basically saying, hey, I contest my deportation or my legal status to be here, and that they believe that if they just got them out of the United States fast enough, they didn't have to offer them or give them a chance to submit the writ or give them due process that's entitled to them by the law.
Can I ask you a few questions on that topic real quick?
Sure.
Number one, that was a Supreme Court case, correct?
Yeah, that went all the way to SCOTUS.
In which way did the Supreme Court rule on that?
They ruled in a 9-0 favor that the United States of America needed to bring Kilmer-Abrego Garcia back to the United States. Facilitated.
So not exactly was the case focused on the process of deportation. It was focused on the
process as
facilitation
well.
of return, but it was focused on the facilitation of return of the man who was wrongly accused of being an illegal immigrant.
It was two
Excuse me?
parts.
How could a ruling be two parts? Could you explain that to me?
Have you never read a Supreme Court brief?
I've read many Supreme Court cases before in school. I'm just asking you, do you know how the Supreme Court can rule on two different issues at once?
Yeah, because they
within
hear
one
all
case?
sides of the issue and then they include it in their holding and they include it in their concurrence. This happens
I
all the
understand. So
time.
can
That's
you
why
repeat-
they cite multiple case laws within their concurrence. I mean, this was a very short one. It was a 4-page brief.
Can you repeat the question you had posed for me with that Supreme Court case?
I didn't pose a question. I had asked you if you had heard of it, and then I explained to you that with it, the Solicitor General arguing on behalf of the United States of America, arguing on behalf of Kristi Noem, made a plea to say that if they got people out of the United States of America fast enough, that they didn't have to offer immigrants an option to submit a writ of habeas corpus or the right to due process, essentially requiring that all immigrants, regardless of their immigration status, should be carrying a writ on their person at all times.
I have a counterpoint to you, okay? And you can tell me if it's wrong or if it doesn't make sense legally. I don't know what your background is exactly, but is an illegal immigrant subject to the same constitutional standards as a citizen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the writ of habeas corpus is the right to...
When it comes to immigration, it would be their ability to challenge their deportation.
Okay. So if the Supreme Court ruled against them, and although the Solicitor General has argued against that, do you have evidence that the Trump administration, despite the Solicitor General's arguments, is not following the Supreme Court ruling?
Yeah,
Do you have any
the
evidence of all of that?
270 individuals that were sent to CCOT.
And how many of them were facilitated their return after the Supreme Court case? Do you have any
One.
evidence of that?
One singular
Just one?
person was brought back to the United
What
States
is
of
your
America.
source on that, though? What is your source on that?
Kristi Noem herself, when they brought back Gilmore Abrego Garcia to face indictments on a false charge at this point, because even then, like the judge that was overhearing his case said that seems like it was what is it? There's a specific way to put it. We'll just say targeted prosecution, retaliatory prosecution. And while it hasn't gone to trial yet, there's a reason why he's out and he's not being held in a detention facility.
I'm sorry to
There's
repeat this, but
170
your
individuals
source,
also within Venezuela. Sir, you could, like, this has been reported on by CBP, Kristi Noem herself, that they were not effectuating the return of 270 individuals that were sent to CCOT. They were, thank you, Kat, so much for the flying jets. Some of them were sent to their home countries afterwards, right? They were
how
repatriated
many
back
of
to
them were
their
sent
home.
to their home countries afterwards?
170 were sent back to Venezuela.
So that leaves 100 in CCOT or 99 in CCOT?
Thereabouts. And
So,
mind you,
has the Trump
investigative
administration
journalists,
provided any
investigative
reasons for that
journalists,
continued
investigative
holding
journalists, investigative journalists have found that only 32 individuals out of the 270 individuals had any criminal record in any country, including the United States of America. And when it comes to the 170 individuals that were repatriated into Venezuela specifically, again, this is Kristi Noem in her own press brief that you can find on the Department of Homeland Security website, where she specifically said that the 170 individuals that have already been deemed that are required to receive their day in court will not make it back to the United States to have their day in court, and it would be, quote, impossible for them to conduct it virtually.
Would you call Kristi Noem a reputable figure?
No, Kristi Noem is a piece of
Then
shit.
why are you taking
but I am
the
going
Kristi
to.
Noem word from her website, which she controls as the head of DHS, as fact on this matter, when we've known, and I've said myself, and I'm sure we probably both agree, that the Trump administration and its many members are very, very strong on posturing, and I have to admit as well that they lie often. So why do you keep quoting Kristi Noem as your source?
I'm quoting
for the
her
people still
words.
being there in CCOT?
I'm quoting
Yes, you're
her
quoting her
words.
words, but
I
why,
didn't
if
say
she's
about
not
it
a
for the
reputable
people still
figure?
being in CCOT, sir. I was talking specifically about. See,
You just
you're
said the
not.
people from
You are not
Venezuela,
keeping up. You are not
based on
keeping up.
Kristi Noem's words,
You are
were
not
not
keeping
sent
up.
back
Let
based
me
on Kristi
explain
Noem's
this to
words.
you.
There's
Let me
99
explain
left
this
in
to you.
CCOT, and
Okay.
you started with
If
the
you are
Supreme
going to continue to overtalk me, I will mute you where no one can hear you, and I will not listen to you myself. So here's specifically what I said. Here's what I said, right? I was talking about the 170 individuals that were repatriated to Venezuela. And now when it comes to them not being issued or being granted their writ of habeas corpus, their ability to contest their deportation, Kristi Noem's words themselves are in fact a primary source on what the Department of Homeland Security is refusing to do under her leadership as the Secretary of Homeland Security running that department. She is a primary source, and that is exactly why I am quoting her. So when it comes to the 170 individuals that are in Venezuela that have been denied their rights to submit a writ or have their due process heard in court, Kristi Noem herself stated that they would not be brought back to the United States of America. They would not facilitate that return to the United States of America, therefore denying their ability to contest their deportation. Also, with that, they also stated with Kristi Noem, the Department of Homeland Security, that they would not be holding virtual court sessions either because it would be too difficult for them to verify their identity in order to do so.
Okay, may I begin talking again? Thank you, if that's all right. Okay, so first of all, the DHS is not the one who decides if there are virtual court hearings. That is on the courts themselves. So to say the DHS is the one that
Immigration
decided that,
what branch
that is
of
not true.
sorry, what branch
Second of all,
what branch of government does immigration court operate under?
I don't believe it operates under the DHS.
You would actually be wrong.
It does. It does.
It is the
operate under
Department of
DHS?
Homeland Security that gets to appoint judges to immigration court because immigration court
When are
operates
those-
under
hold on,
the
if I
executive
may.
branch of government because it is not the same as criminal court or civil court, which operates under the judicial branch of government.
Wait,
so you have already started
if I
off
ask a few
incorrect. The
questions-
Department of Homeland Security absolutely is responsible for running immigration court.
Can I ask a few questions? I think we have a good back and forth going. I really appreciate like the cordialness here. Is it okay if I ask a few questions? Hello? Okay, well, first of all, I forgot one of my points, but why would the DHS, as the side of, well, first of all, excuse me, I remembered it now. What is the term limit of a judge appointed by the DHS? Is it a 7-year term that's allowed to be appointed by other administrations? Is it something where they appoint it at the start of a new DHS commissioner or leader of the DHS? How exactly do those judge terms work?
They do not have a term limit. They can fire and change them out as they please.
They really can?
Yes.
I did not know that. That's interesting. Okay. I'll continue.
Because again, the immigration court is operated under the executive branch of government, and the judges are appointed by the Department of Homeland Security.
So if it's all operated under the executive branch of government.
It
correct?
is.
So does the Supreme Court then has a say in that, correct?
What
If it's
branch of
operated by the-
government is the Supreme Court a part of?
The judicial branch.
Yes,
does the
immigration
judicial branch-
court systems, immigrants can appeal immigration court decisions into under that would fall into civil court, and also some of it potentially into the criminal justice system that has the potentiality to make its way back up to the Supreme Court of the United States of America.
I thought they were separate, the civil, criminal, and immigration courts. You stated earlier that they're all separate.
If they lose in immigration court, immigrants still have the ability to contest their ruling, which would then go under the judicial branch of government and have the potentiality to make its way up to the Supreme Court of the United States of America if they lose in immigration court.
Okay. And if the other side wins, if the DHS or the prosecutorial side wins, that decision can still be appealed?
Yes. So, yeah,
I'm
the
really learning a
appellate
lot here.
the
Thank you.
appellate system still is granted to immigrants.
Okay. Well, let me think for just one moment here. I hate to ask this again. Actually, no. I won't ask that again. But why would the prosecutors give the defendants they believe that have broken a law, that they very strongly believe and that they have strong evidence for that have broken a law, why would they give them, or why would they set up a system that's not unfair, I would say. It's not unfair. But why would they set up a system Let me rephrase that for a second. Why would they help out the people they are accusing of breaking the law? Why would a prosecutor in any other case at all, whether it's immigration or criminal, why would a prosecutor say to the defendant, okay, I'm going to pay for your plane ticket from Venezuela to the United States. Okay, I'm going to help you get a virtual hearing. Okay, I'm going to help you do this or do that. What is the burden on the prosecution for that?
Again, because it was already effectually decided that they did violate the right that those individuals were guaranteed by the 5th and 14th Amendments of the United States Constitution to contest their deportation. That was already found
Has there been a case in which the 5th and 14th Amendment have been quoted in which the right to a virtual hearing is listed in the 5th and 14th Amendment? Or any amendment at all in the U.S. Constitution? Has there been a case?
How about during C-19 where all court
I'm
sessions
sorry,
were
I'm very sorry
held
to do
virtually?
this, but I just asked you a question. Can you please
Yes,
answer that question?
I just did. Every single case that was held virtually during COVID-19.
Well, first of all, not every single case was held virtually during COVID-19.
I didn't
Second of
say
all,
every single case in existence was held virtually. I said every single case that was held virtually during C-19. There was a difference in the words.
but was that in the Supreme Court in a case that
The
stated
Supreme
they
Court
must be
of
able
the
to be held
United
virtually?
States also held some sessions virtually.
Yes, but did
Yeah.
they make a ruling or decision on that? Is there Supreme Court
Specifically,
case
no,
law?
I don't think that there's a Supreme Court case law that says
So
to
it's not in
allow.
effect that
I mean,
it
I
must
can
be
look it up.
required. But the
Oh,
writ of
if it's not
habeas
in
corpus can be
effect.
defended through an online virtual court.
Again, they were required to effectuate the return of all the individuals that were incorrectly sent to CCOT, and they did not. Congratulations. I truly don't
I'm
know what to
sorry.
tell you about that one. Again, you're
I'm
unfamiliar
sorry.
with the case. I'm done. You were not as polite as you thought you were. You continued to just, I don't know, rattle off. You were reading a script or something. I don't know. Guys, if you're new here and you haven't hit that follow button already, please be sure to go ahead and hit that follow button now. I do greatly appreciate you. Kat, thank you so much for having been here. I think you've already left, but I do appreciate you. I'm trying to get through some of these chats. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, I am 15. I study in.
I cannot talk to somebody that is underage. TikTok terms of service. I think it's even YouTube terms of service. Luis, thank you for the donation. Let's see. He then asked me why I hung up on you. Because you wouldn't stop interrupting me, and I don't appreciate that. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm
How
glad
old
that
are
I
you?
finally got a call to actually come through. That's I've tried about 20 times.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 20.
20. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes, currently.
Currently. What specifically has Donald Trump done in his 12 months back in office that has earned your continued support?
So far, it's more like what he hasn't done that's got more of my support. There's many things that a president can do that would cause more problems than not doing those things.
So you support him so you support him for things that he hasn't done. Okay. So I'm guessing then that you would support him for talking about invading Greenland and taking it over, but it's okay because he hasn't actually done it.
When did he talk about invading Greenland?
We can do this the easy way or the hard way. If they won't, I would prefer to buy them, but if they won't let me buy them, we'll take it by force if necessary.
Man, I did not know about that. See, I'd talked to somebody about that before, that they would have the possibility of purchasing or wanting to sell, but I did not know that he actually wanted to invade them.
Yeah.
Was that in a press briefing or something, or when he
Oh,
was
he's talked
a White
about it.
House?
He's answered reporters' questions about it, and he said all of that. I don't really.
So what we could be dealing with is sometimes he's lying.
Right. Well, so the reason I asked the question and phrased it the way that I did is because you said that you support him for the things that he hasn't done. So again, I asked you, so you support Donald Trump because he talks about taking Greenland by force, but it's okay because he hasn't done it yet.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, that's exactly why. Because just like we commonly find in the Bible, there's a verse that goes along with those lines. The difference between a person who says they will do
What's
something
that
and
Bible
doesn't
verse?
do it. What's that?
What's that Bible verse?
I'm sorry, ma'am. I cannot remember it right now, but I could find it for you. But either way.
So you also support Donald Trump when he says that we shouldn't even have midterm elections, but because he hasn't somehow managed to find a way to cancel midterms, that's okay, right? Because he hasn't done it.
As long as he does not go against anything that is in our laws or does not commit a crime that would be worthy of impeachment, I'd have to say I'd still support him, because just because the president says something doesn't mean it's going to happen. That's the wonderful
Donald Trump has
thing
already
about
been
our
found to
system.
have actively violated articles and amendments of the United States Constitution, and you still support him?
What times? I mean, that is really important. You're saying that he's actually committed crimes that are proven.
Yeah,
And-
deployment
and
of
that
the
he's above
National
them?
Guard illegally without the governors asking for it in states like Illinois.
When did he deploy them? And what was going on? I'm sorry to ask all these questions. I know I don't want to take up too much of your time, but still, that's quite important. If he really did something like that, and that's big.
Have you been living under a rock by chance?
No, ma'am. I don't have TV though.
You have a phone in your hand?
Yeah.
Where do you get your news?
Usually just if anything pops up online, but just like you've said before earlier this week, you can't just trust these news. It's mostly just chatter.
And it takes
until
like
something is
2
proven in the
seconds
law.
to type something into Google and research this. So here, do I know the exact date that Donald Trump deployed the National Guard from other states
No,
like
I'm not
Texas
asking
into
for that.
Chicago?
Just did
No,
he?
I think it was in September or October. It was under the guise of assisting ICE personnel with saying there were all these huge riots and civil unrest occurring when there was no evidence that showed that all of
Wow.
this civil unrest, October 7th, thank you. All this civil unrest was occurring in Chicago, for example. The Governor Pritzker, did not ask for the National Guard. It was a clear-cut violation of the already rules and practices on how the National Guard is deployed. Is it has to be requested by the governor of that state from, they're the ones that, if they're going to request the National Guard from other states, they requested themselves with other governors or through the President of the United States, right?
So
Chicago didn't
what I'm
activate their own,
wondering-
or Illinois did not activate their own National Guard. So Illinois sued the Trump administration in his illegal use, what he claimed to be okay under 10 U.S. Code 12460, and he appealed that to the Supreme Court, asked for them to look at it as an emergency docket, and the Supreme Court said, no, get them out.
Uh-huh. So what is the next step? I mean, for Trump, I mean, good grief. If he has violated these crimes, what could happen? Are you saying that he could possibly be impeached?
He should be. He even said it himself. If we lose the midterms, they'll impeach me. He knows it's coming.
You're awesome.
Wow, because what you're saying is isn't it a certain amount of Supreme Court justices, or what is it that actually determines if they can impeach?
Our Supreme Court justices voted in.
No, they're chosen.
Who are we voting for in the midterms this year?
I don't think it's state here. To tell you
All
the
right.
truth, I'm not.
I would encourage you to do some research. The answer is we are voting for Congress, congressional representatives, members of the Senate, because every 2 years the House of Representatives gets reselected or revoted in by their population in their districts. Senators are every 6 years that they get recycled out, and it's about 30 senators every 2 years, like every midterm election, every federal election, that are up for re-election. It's about 30 senators every 2 years. So, because they have 6-year terms. So,
Wow. Well, either way, thank you very much for letting me call in and talk, because this is important. Other people have talked about it on the show, and being able to talk is important. It doesn't matter who's in office. If the people get so in such unrest that they cannot get along or talk, that's just insane. And America couldn't stand that way. I also just wanted to say that above all this political chatter, the heart of the American people is more important than who's in office.
Okay.
So, who would, to tell you the truth, who would you just dream of someday being in office? I mean, not to pry, you don't have to answer, but who are you envisioning that would be worthy of office? Because
sorry, I don't have
all I've
any-
heard is a bunch of liars.
I don't have anyone in mind. Here's why. I want to look at people's policies. What are they
True.
supporting? I don't vote based off a party. And
That's true. I mean,
no
the only reason there's
politician
parties are...
no politician
Oh, sorry.
deserves my support or loyalty. They do have to earn it.
True. And that's the sad truth about it, because right now there's two parties, Republican and Democrat, and then of course you've got your Libertarian, but once they reach it to the top, they will be liars. And I haven't seen one yet that has made it to the top that hasn't ended up that way. And it's, you've got 2 or 3 choices, or you don't vote at all, or you vote and your vote doesn't matter. So at some point, it's a little bit above just talking.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I'm thankful that we can talk like this, because I guess from it all, some people's eyes will be opened. And I would ask that your eyes be open to this, that you probably didn't vote, and I voted, and my vote might not have been perfectly correct, to tell you the truth, from what you're saying. Invasions and illegal actions.
Okay. I definitely did vote, and I encourage people to vote in their midterms and just take a little
That's
bit of time
important,
to
yes.
surface level, like at the very least, surface level research your politicians' policies that are running for political office.
But sadly, like you're saying, his policies won't exactly align with my views. And whoever you've probably voted for, they didn't align probably perfectly. But we pick what is closest aligned to even 1 or 2 of the policies we think would be correct.
Okay. If that's
But-
how you, I mean, that is actually true. I actually will give you that. The
I might
majority
not be
of
too
people
smart, but there
can't,
is truth.
yeah, the majority of people can't agree with every single thing that a candidate is endorsing or supporting or would like to see implemented. That is true. The majority of us don't automatically agree with that. But I guess, at
Yeah.
least in my opinion, I did draw the lines when it came to Donald Trump and knowing not to vote for him. Like, he put the
That's true,
United
yeah.
States of America in jeopardy in his first term when he dismantled the pandemic response team that was implemented and started under Obama's administration. And then C-19 happened and we saw millions of deaths. He discredited himself when it came to implementing Operation Warp Speed, where after the fact he was like, y'all don't need to take the vaccine. Leading to people to doubt the vaccination's effectiveness, which was not a great thing, right? People still talk conspiracy theories about that now, and we can't go into those because TikTok doesn't even
Of
like me
course, it
talking
just
about
goes
it.
on. It just goes on
And
forever.
also, it seems like a lot of people voted against basic human rights when they voted for Donald Trump, and there are things that I can't support. He even talked about dismantling about 30% of our United States military force, and I didn't agree with that either. So there was a lot of things that I could not stand behind with him, and especially if we consider his personal life. Sorry, I do
That's
draw
a
the
lot of
line at
people.
I do draw the line at voting for someone that's committed sexual assault.
That stands for a lot of people. I'm sorry to say, but politicians, dirty life is all I can say.
Well, if you voted for Trump, you voted for a sexual assaulter.
Does that mean I'm more prone for that?
No,
Or the people
I
that
just said I
vote
draw
are
the
for that?
line. I just said I draw the line at voting for someone that has been adjudicated for sexual assault.
True. I mean, everybody's
Yeah.
got to draw the line somewhere, and
Okey-doke.
some things I'd have to say are more important than others where they draw the line, but
Yeah, human rights for me at least. But all right, man. I hope you have a good night.
hey, you too, and thanks for answering the call. Maybe I'll call back sometime later. Do you allow that if we have points to go back and forth on, or?
Sure, not a problem. Enjoy your
Okie doke.
Thursday.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Mhm.
Have a blessed evening.
You too. Bye. All right, guys. Well, it looks like we've hit that time where everything's kind of levels out. So we're going to go ahead and call it a quits for the night. You guys have a great rest of your Thursday night. Don't do anything I wouldn't do or do. I don't know. I do got to read through a few chats real quick before you guys leave. Thank you. Weston said words mean what words mean. Use them correctly. I absolutely agree. I bet if Trump asked the southern border to marry him, the border would close so fast. That's funny. It would dry up like the Sahara Desert. Thank you, Aslan. Polly liked that one too. That is very true. Oh my God, the Dorito price is lowered. Thanks, Trump. Thank you, Trump. Thank you, Jason, for the 2 Canadian. I did ask him that one, Eddie. Yes, one of those guests definitely needed to phone a friend. Malicious prosecution, Ari. Thank you, Kilo. I don't know what that was in reference to. I'm so sorry. Illegals are not subject to the same constitutional rights as U.S. citizens. They have limited due process, etc. You're arguing bad faith. This guy smoked you. Right. The guy who didn't know that immigration court fell under the executive branch of government, not the judicial branch of government, didn't believe that Kristi Noem's own words could be used as a source to back up the Department of Homeland Security not bringing back in people that they got out of the country without allowing them their due process. And also Edgara, 9 Supreme Court justices would in fact disagree with you in their ruling in the year 2025, and so would 8 other Supreme Court rulings that explicitly went over the right to due process for it. And by the way, except when it comes to constitutional amendments that clearly say citizen. If it says all persons, it applies to all individuals within the bounds of the United States of America. He has a jitterbug? Yeah, he probably did. Orange Kool-Aid stock is up right now. That's funny. That is funny. No, he wasn't so bad. It was a little bit difficult to talk to him, though. I will say that, though. It was a little bit difficult to talk to him. But all right, guys, I appreciate you guys for being here. If you haven't hit that follow or subscribe button, hit it now. You guys have a great rest of your night. Bye-bye.